Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Andrew with thedirtytank.com, and today we're gonna build this aquaponic system. It's gonna be an absolute blast. We're gonna combine two of my favorite things, plants and fish. And so this way all the fish poop will kind of fuel and help grow all the plants, and the plants in turn will filter out all the nitrates. And so it's going to be like this whole ecosystem that makes it easy to manage. I'm never going to have to water the plants, and I'm not going to have to do that many or any water changes is my hope. So let's talk about how we're going to do this. Now, this is fairly inexpensive, and there's a million ways to do it. I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide of how I did it in real time to set this thing up. It works, and I'm really enjoying it, but I have to tell you, this is my first time doing it. There may be better ways to do it. If you end up building one, or if you built one in the past, comment down below some of the things you would recommend that I add on or change. But let's go ahead and dive into the build now.
All right, so let's go ahead and start the build. So what I did first is I made a drawing, and this is essentially what the aquaponics system is going to look like. This is the exploded view. You can see the tub, you can see each of the rows that I have out of 4-inch piping, and then the lattice that it's going to be mounted to. Now I have these 3-inch cups that I'm using, so this is all very important. You want to make sure you have a drawing, that way you don't forget anything. Now these are the supplies you're going to need. You're going to need a 4-inch pipe. I have two 8-foot sections or 10-foot sections, and then a 2-inch pipe, and I have an 8-foot of that 2-inch pipe there. In addition to that, you're going to need these mesh pots so that your plant won't just fall out or get washed away in the tube. You're going to need 4-inch elbows that will connect the water from one pipe to the next. Then you're going to need a 4-inch to 2-inch reducer, and this is going to help make sure that the water level stays decent enough for the roots to actually get something. Then you're going to need to be able to drill holes, and that's where this hole saw drill comes from. That will allow you to put in your pots. Now you're going to want to make sure you buy a hole saw that's slightly smaller than your pot. I'm also having two 2x4s to help with the mounting and securing process, and then this is optional. This is lattice. This is just going to make it look a little bit prettier and allow vines to grow through it and whatnot.
All right, for those of you who've been following along for a while, I'm going to give you guys an update. Haven't posted a video in a while. That's because I just moved and I sold all of my tanks, except for like 3 or 4. I used to have around 30 tanks in my garage. I'm going to put a montage here so you can see what it looked like. Well, all of that has gone now. So I'm starting essentially from scratch. I'm going to slowly start the fish room back up, and we're going to start with this aquaponic system. So let's talk about what that is. So for those of you who don't know, I know most of you probably do if you're watching this video, so I'll keep it short, but essentially it's a way to grow vegetables, or any plants for that matter, in water. And how the plants get its nutrients is 1 from the water, and then 2 from what's in the water, which is normally fish poop and other waste that gets in the water and slowly dissolves and degrades and gets converted, the whole nitrogen cycle. Ammonia, your poop gets broken down into ammonia, and then nitrite, and then nitrate, and then the plants will feed off of nitrate, right? And it helps them grow, and at the same time, the plants help get rid of some of those toxic ammonia, nitrate, so that the fish down below will live a very healthy and happy life.
So once you have all of your supplies, step 1 is to cut each row. Now I'm going to have 3 rows of, piping to support plants. Each row is going to have 4 foot worth of pipe so that I can have 5 different plants on each row for a total of about 20. 5 times 3, 15 plants. So first thing, I'm just marking where I'm going to cut, and you can cut this with just about anything. You can use a hand saw, you can use a skill saw. I'm using a chop saw or miter saw here just because it makes it kind of easy. Now, my miter saw is slightly smaller than the diameter of this pipe, so whenever I cut it, I am going to have to turn the pipe slightly so that it cuts fully, but this went really smoothly. There wasn't any like shattering or splintering. It cut like butter. It made it really easy. So if you get this type of piping, you'll be able to cut it fairly easily, even if you don't have a chop saw like I have here. You can see me kind of turning it there just to make sure it cuts all the way, and we're done. That's the first row, and it's looking pretty good. And then after you do that, you're gonna have your 3-4 foot piping ready to go. Now, after you have it cut, you are going to want to do a dry fit, right? That is where you put your elbows and connectors all together just to make sure you're not missing any pieces. So I have the 90-degree elbow that allows to receive water, and then I have the 4-inch to 2-inch reducer that will allow the water level to go up, but also allow it to fold down and go to the next section. Now, the way it works is water is going to go in through the 90-degree angle, flow through the pipe, hit the 2-inch reducer, causing the water level to rise about 50% of the width of the pipe, and then outflow into the next pipe. Now, on that 2-inch reducer, that 4-inch to 2-inch reducer, goes a 2-inch pipe. Now, I haven't cut that pipe yet, so it's not here, but you're going to see that here in a bit. I just wanted to get the dry fit done to make sure I have everything I need, and I'm not missing anything. Next up, I'm actually going to drill the holes. Now, I'm drilling about 8 inches in between each one. So I'm starting at 4 inches, then 12 inches, then 20 inches, and so on. Every 8 inches starting at 4 inches from the beginning. This will allow me to have 5 plants in this 4-foot section, which is a good amount of plants. It allows the plant, for whatever plant you have, to grow. Now, if you're going to do larger plants, you can do larger spacing. If you're going to do like herbs and smaller plants, then you can do much shorter spacing. It doesn't have to be the 8-inch. Maybe you only need 3 or 4 inches, depending on what plant you want to buy. Now, here's the hole saw. We actually learned a few tricks about using this guy, and the secret is, because you can see it keeps getting caught whenever I try to drill, right? Well, I found out the secret is that you drill into it, and it's going to get caught initially. Then you put it in reverse, and you can cut and drill the hole while using the drill in reverse. And it actually cuts just as easy, but it never actually gets caught because the little saw teeth are angled one way. If you reverse it in the other direction, it doesn't catch as easy, but it still cuts because it's fairly easy to cut PVC pipe. This is what the hole looks like, and guys, it's like a perfect hole. You're going to do this to all of your piping. Now, here's another tip. In order to get your holes exactly on a straight line, is you can actually measure your spacing on the printed words that go across your piping. That will allow you to not have to figure out, how do I make sure it's straight and symmetrical. You just measure on those words and you have a straight line. And then you want to put your baskets in just to make sure everything fits, and you didn't drill any too big or too small. So that you are good to go to the next step. Now, the next step is to cut your 2-inch piping. Now, what I'm doing is I'm cutting a 3-inch section of this 2-inch pipe. And essentially, why am I cutting a 3-inch section? Because really, you need a connector from that 4-inch to 2-inch reducer to your 2-inch elbow. Now, that's a lot of words, but really, you just need a section, connect the reducer to the elbow, right? And they don't have to be perfect. If you look at mine, they're not perfect, right? They're not exactly 3 inches, but essentially you take your 2-inch pipe section, you put it into the 4-inch to 2-inch reducer, then you have the elbow, and you're going to connect the elbow to that. Now, this will allow the water to drain down to the next level, the next pipe. And so water is just going to flow down, and then it's going to be directed into the next one to do the exact same thing. Now, after you do that, you are going to want a larger 2-inch sections that go to the other side of the elbow to the next level. Now, the size of this really depends on you. I would recommend 10 to 12 inches, but you can do much larger if you're going to have bigger plants, or much smaller if you're going to have more herbs and microgreen type plants. Now, after you connect these guys, you just want to make sure everything is flowing properly, the spacing is right, and it should look something like this, right? So water comes in the first one, it drips down this down spot, it then feeds to the second row, which feeds to the third row, and then it goes back into the tub that you have. Now, this next part is optional. I think it just makes it look a little bit better and allows plants to grow, especially if you're going to get viney type plants. This is Lattice. I have a 4-foot by 8-foot section, and really I just need 4-foot by 6-foot, I think is ultimately what I used. So from top to bottom is 4 foot, and then the width is going to be about 6 feet. But this will depend on, you know, how many rows you're doing and how wide you're making your aquaponic system. Now, after you got it cut, it should look something like this guy here. And then you're ready to mount it. Now, what I'm doing is I'm actually going to mount it to the 2x4, and I'm going to then tie or mount the 2x4 to the tree without screwing into the tree, because I don't really want to screw into the tree. So I'm going to use this wire, and I'm going to use this stake to kind of hold all that in place. Now, first thing, what we're going to do is we're going to add this stake. Now, this is actually part of a swing set, I guess, to help stabilize the structure. And essentially, it's a rebar connected to a washer. Now, we're going to drive the rebar into the ground until it feels nice and sturdy, maybe about 20 to 50% into the ground. And then you're going to take a screw, and you're going to screw into the 2x4, not into the tree. Now, you can drill into the tree if you want to, but I would prefer not to. That's why I'm doing it this way. Now, you don't have to mount it to the tree. You can make your own mounting system, but this is the way I did it, so that way it's structurally secure. I didn't have to buy a lot of different types of wood, and I'm not actually drilling to the tree. So after you secure the bottom, I use this wire to kind of secure the top, because that rebar and washer, that's going to keep it structurally sound, but this wire is just going to make sure it doesn't move as easily and disturb any of the plants. And it passed the shake test, guys. Now this next part this is how I'm going to mount the Lattice to the 2x4. I'm just using some deck screws, and I'm using a washer, and we're just screwing in right through that lattice. Now, this is plastic lattice, and it's fairly easy to work with. You can just drill right through it without having to pre-drill. You are going to want to make sure you have a fairly fat washer. That way it just holds together better. And when you're done, it's gonna look really good, I think. I only did one in each corner, so for a total of just 4 screws with those washers, and it's not looking half bad at all. Now the next step is mounting the I guess each of these pipes to your structure right above your tub. Now what I'm using zip lines or zip ties to hold everything together. Now you're thinking, okay, you're going to use zip ties, they're going to break, it's in the sun. I've used zip ties to hold cattle panel together, bent in a trellis shape, right? Multiple cattle panels together. For one of my gardens, it had direct sunlight and it lasted years. I actually took it apart before it fell apart. So zip ties are fairly strong. They do get brittle, of course, over time, but it's going to definitely do the trick. Now, you are going to want to make sure that your pipe is slightly unlevel to the direction where you want the water to flow, because this is all going to be gravity fed, right? A pump is at the tub at the bottom, tubing is going to take it all the way to the top pipe, and then from there it just gravity feeds all the way back down. So you are going to want to make sure each level is slightly unlevel so that everything works properly and things don't overfill, right? But it should look something like this once you're done.
Oh, and I almost forgot. We have one fish that we took from the old fish room. We only saved one. My daughter Penelope, she scooped up this fish in a Ziploc bag and held it in her lap as we drove all the way to our new home. And it's a single rice fish, so I plan on putting rice fish as my fish of choice in this stocking, in this aquaponic system. And the reason being is that rice fish are incredibly hardy. They're small, they get about this big, they swim towards the top, and they're super colorful. Absolutely love them. But when I've had them, they survive 18, 19 degree winters and, 90, 95, 98 degree summers. So very, very hardy. They reproduce like crazy, and they're just a good fish to have, especially for this type of setup. So let's go ahead and look at it.
Now, once you have it mounted, you're going to want to make sure that you have a pump that can pump water up to the height that you want, right? So mine is about 6 feet tall, so I want a pump that pumps at least that high. Now the pump that I have pumps, I think, about 10 to 12 feet high, so my pump will definitely work. Now if you want to know where I got my pump and tubing from, I'll list it and all the other supplies in the description below so that you can take a look. But basically you need a basic aquarium pump that is rated for whatever height you have, and then some tubing to connect it to the top, right? Just any tubing will do. Hose or even siphon tubing will work.
All right, so the prototype is up. Now we're just gonna test it for leaks, make sure it holds together. So we're gonna fill this guy up with water, and then we're gonna turn on the pump and see how it does. All right, we filled the water up about 50% just to test it. All right, Dad, go ahead and plug it in. Is it on? Oh! All right, hold on, I gotta re-angle this thing. This thing is just angled differently. All right, unplug it. All right, we're gonna try again. There's a little right angle on there. I fixed the hose angle. Let's plug it in, let's see if it works this time. Attempt number 2. Oh, I hear it, I hear it. Is it gonna make it? Let's see. Oh, it's going. I hear it.
Yeah, I hear it too.
Oh, it's taking a while though.
Oh, I see the water going down. The second one.
The second one? All right, so is it making the third one yet?
No, yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's coming. There it is.
Oh, a little bit. There you go. That's a decent drain.
Yeah.
Nappy, come on!
All right, let's take a look. All right, so this is what we want. We want it to fill about 50% of water. So that's good. That means the roots don't have to go as long in order to get water. So up here, you can see the water levels are decent. Because of these reducers, they allow the water to fill up higher before it goes.
All right, guys, so the system was working pretty well, but there was some leaks. So initially, we didn't use any PVC glue or cement at all. We just dry fitted it, but there was leaks. And so just to make sure over time we don't lose all the water and have to top it off all the time, we did use PVC glue to connect these major joints just to make sure there is no more leaking. And it worked pretty well. Now, once this stuff dries, it is not toxic for your fish, so make sure you allow it to dry and then let it run for a little bit, do a water change, and you will be a-okay. All right, guys, just got back from shopping and I put all the plants in. So let me show you what type of plants I'm using and how it's being held together. So in here I have jalapenos, I have tomatoes, I have spinach, I have lettuce, I have different types of mint, have tons of different plants in here. Now I use the mesh pots mainly, but only had 12 mesh pots. That means I had 3 other holes that I needed to fill, and I'm just using cups, regular solo cups for some of these other ones. And so guys, if you don't want to buy these aquaponic mesh pots, just go ahead and use a solo cup and cut it to size depending on what size hole you're drilling, and it will fit just fine. Now as far as how the plant stays in the pot without falling out, I filled it up with river stone. You can use an aquaponic stone, or you can use a lava rock, or you can use that mesh wool that sometimes use in aquatic plants. But as you can see, I have a mix of plants that are already sprouted and some that are by seed. So either way that you want to proceed, you can kind of do it either way. I also added a few non-vegetable plants. I have some creeping jenny in there. What we're looking at now is purple inch plant. Also have some pothos growing out of there. And that way it just looks a little bit better, adds another dimension, and will continually keep the water really healthy and really clear while the fish are in there. Well guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one here. Wait a second. We need to add our rice fish.
All right, Penelope, you ready to put the fish in? Let me see how he's doing. There's the little fella. What are we gonna name him?
I'm gonna name her Kitty Fella.
Kitty fella. Okay, let's put Kitty fella inside the pond. See how he does. Oh, there he goes. There he is.
He's happy.
I think so.
All right, guys, and that's going to wrap up today's build. I hope it inspires you to make your own aquaponics mini pond. And until next time, guys, see ya.